at this point, Christina's being very immature. She's beating on a ball. If she really wants to get to the root of the issue, let's have an adult conversation. Like, what is the problem?
So there's
Oh, child. Oh, child. I don't know, Elsie. I don't know. Whew. Whew. It's still hot up in here in this kicker ball. That little plastic be making people hot, don't it? Anywho. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another round. We're back with Love and Marriage Detroit, Season 2, Episode 4. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my girl, Elsie. Where y'all big cousins? Come on in. We're going to get to talking about this episode here. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you're not new here, you already know what to do. Throw those green hearts in the chat. Let us know that you are here. And if you are new here, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend, please. You know what I'm saying? Get our word out there. We're trying to keep the show going by talking about the show, so we need your help by watching us, okay? So let's do this. Hey, Elsie, let's get into this episode. Child. How'd you feel overall about it?
I felt it wasn't enough petty for me. So it was tame, but there were some good spots. I actually made notes this time, so there were some good spots, but it wasn't as petty as I needed it to be. So that means Anthony didn't get enough airtime. That's all I'm saying.
Anthony did. We need to give him more airtime. About the time he wasn't petty enough for you. He wasn't petty enough for me.
No, he wasn't. Y'all PK kids, y'all hug it out. Like, ooh.
Anthony confuses me, but there's that. You know what I'm saying? It's the talk out on one side of the neck, but do different actions for me. So I don't know how to feel about him sometimes, but I agree. He was on best behavior this episode. Okay, so I don't know. You said it wasn't enough petty for you. I don't know. Well, the episode I feel like started off on the same petty note that we left it on, or whatnot. The girls is over there fighting and arguing, carrying on and whatnot and stuff. And so I was just like, how are we gonna get in a resolve? Where are we gonna go with this? Hey, Shawnee. I don't know. Where are we gonna go with this?
We're trying to get back home. Isn't that the root of everything? Everybody wants somebody home. The whole episode should be love should have brought you home last night. That should have been the whole episode.
They still just trying to get home, so they'll do anything right now, just get through it to get home and stuff. That's what you're saying. I just feel like we be talking in circles, and particularly because of one person. Because they don't never want to own up to anything. They don't never want to divulge who or what they get the information from. It's always this evasive answer, the streets, these people. I got word of mouth. You know, you got all these connections and stuff like that. Like, just state it. But your whole overall issue is not direct. That's the real issue. It's not direct. And these two still don't know how to be direct with each other. And by the end of it, Anthony is trying to tell them, well, y'all just go ahead and direct your conversations to one another. You don't go to talk to nobody else. Don't, sidebar kiki. Don't hold it in. Don't tell us men, I guess. I don't really know. But do you think they're going to uphold to that?
If you want them to handle their own business and stay out of it all the way, you're still in it. Like, oh yeah, we brought y'all together. Oh yeah, we don't want y'all to fight. Hug it out. You're still in the business. Just keep out of it.
Keep out of it. They agreed on that later on when they got with the men. They didn't agree on it right here.
If you keep out of it, then Anthony doesn't get to be petty. I need him petty.
Right. I don't know. Well, Anthony sure what might not have been petty, but Latoya was holding it down like right here. Let's see this real quick.
Me and Kim have actually a relationship. Let's be honest. The streets talk. And yes, did I hear some things? I did. Are my sources reliable? Yes, they are. But if you want a name, you're not getting that.
Dr. Latoya is out in these streets.
Well, she's not the stay-at-home mom. So she it's not her crying for somebody home. It's Anthony crying for her to be home.
She's in the streets? Okay, because I'm thinking the streets talking is, code for pillow talk. Because Anthony in the streets and he bringing the news back home.
Well, somebody is in the streets and the sheets. So
I
don't know. But again, regardless if your sources are reliable, that's their experience. What does that have to do with you, ma'am? So as we gonna get later on, when we get to Christina's BFF, she likes to say that she's inserting herself and trying to make us name for herself, but it's coming off that you're doing the same. Because you had no problem with Christina outside of other people's problems. And that's been the problem that we've been having this whole time. But anywho, we gonna move on like they decided to move on. They hugged it out and we gonna work on it, child. So we gonna see how long this lasts, okay?
This is when they listen to Brandon. Let's get back in these balls. Let's thug it out. Brandon was having too much fun.
Right. Brandon want to hit somebody again. I don't know. He didn't get a chance to knock nobody over, so he want his redo. Poor little Tink Tink. He gonna get it. He gonna get it one day. He gonna be able to knock Anthony over because I know that's who he want to knock over so bad.
Pause.
Oh yes. Pause. Y'all have been killing me with this pause, man. Anywho, moving right along. We meet at the gym with Kobe and Russell because we can't meet him at home. So we got to meet him where he resides, which is at the gym. And Kobe made it clear that she had to pack the baby up out in the cold and bring him down to the gym at night where he's deciding to paint while there's still people working out in there. I was like, I don't know how that works out in the world of trying to have air and breathe and be on an elliptical and why you inhaling fumes of paint. But do your thing, brother. You gotta crunch, you got a deadline. December is a deadline. And time is ticking. That's all we can say. I don't know.
It was a fake setup because why are we painting a wall that hasn't been patched up?
Oh, I'm glad I did not see it alone. I did not want to bring it up, but I was like, what in the what in the carpentry? Jesus would be so mad. What?
So mad. So mad.
I was like looking at the holes and I was like, why don't you just peel that paint off? Because it looked like it's not even got the right base underneath it to keep it on. Just peel it off. Let's scrub it all off.
Yeah, scrub it all off and then use some spackle. Just spackle smooth out the wall.
On top of it, let's get another color up in there. I you know what? I'm not gonna hold you. This is a personal pet peeve for me when I go into gyms. I don't like certain colors because it dims the lighting in there, and it just makes it like I don't know. I don't like shopping in. It's just a thing with me. I don't like shopping in dark grocery stores. I don't like really working out in dim, poor lighted gyms. I feel lethargic. I feel tired. I mean, just like the color is just, it actually drains me more, I think. I don't know.
But it was orange.
Yeah, that burnt orange. It's not bright. It's not.
Okay. It's supposed to, I guess, complement the purple.
Huh?
It's supposed to complement the purple, I'm guessing.
Okay, well, we might as well just go on Laker color because I don't know.
So that is a
You know what?
question.
I saw compliments: purple, gray, white. It's a lot of colors, but okay. It's just a pet peeve for me. It was amazing. He did match the color though. He did match it.
Yeah, my pet peeve was that last comment. The man escaping the pregnant woman's cranky attitude. It took two to tango, so you need to stay there and take the cranky. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. What are we talking about? This comment right here?
We're in left field.
I'm trying my best. It is really a lot. But this is the season that I'm in, and she needs to understand that. Please give me some grace. Please.
Just get a baby some grace.
And the season she's in is called pregnancy. See, she can't escape. She can't take that belly off, put it to the side, and run to the store. No.
What he needs from you is understanding. How can we communicate if you don't hear what I say?
Because he don't hear what she says.
At all,
So
baby.
no.
At all. He don't hear
No.
nothing.
And she called it out. She called it out. You so concerned. Your response to other people ain't the response that you give me. It ain't the response at home. And the simplest things I ask you for, you running and hiding at the gym.
Okay. And his response definitely wasn't the same he gave Brandon and Christina, because as soon as she said that, his face screwed up. He started doing all, what? He's ready to go on defense, and that's the problem. You're hearing to respond and attack, but not hearing to understand your wife, but you're asking her for that grace. My sir, as the leader of the home, you got to extend that grace so she knows what that grace looks like. Right now, all she knows what it looks like is not listening. So she's not listening. Because what you're saying is fluff to her. Because like she pointed out, he brought the kid. Like, how you gonna sit there? I gotta work on the business, I got school, I got homework, the kid.
That's what you're gonna say when it's 3 a.m. bottle feedings? Is that what you're gonna say?
I got class in the morning, I can't do it.
But Colby is bringing this up too, because this is a precursor. What happens when you do have a congregation and you are pulled out into the community to help? How much of you is your family going to receive? She's lived it.
That's why we got to listen now, though. We've been saying this since this season actually started. We've been saying it last season too, but consistently since this season started, we've been saying, Russell, listen to your wife. Listen to your wife. You're putting a lot on your plate, which in all happens to be her plate too, or whatnot. But on top of it, you added more into her belly as well. So she's already full on top of you trying to feed her some more. Sir, please. Give her a break, okay? Give yourself a break. You are all but one man. And I don't understand. I don't know. I'm not going to count their pockets or anything like this, but I would advise maybe having somebody else come in and paint. You don't have to get the most expensive painters or anything. You can get like somebody local to the area, to your neighborhood. There's always an uncle or somebody. I don't know. I always got an uncle or somebody around that can come by and paint some stuff. If we're going to do this kind of patchwork painting, we might as well give them a couple of bucks to let them go ahead and take care of it and let them handle it. You, sir, too, have a lot on your plate. I'm not acting like school is easy for everybody. And when you go back to it, sometimes it's even harder. So, I don't know. It's getting to talk to a wall with Russell, though. And I'm starting to see all of Kobe's frustration coming out. This is probably why she's fighting with the girls. She can't fight him, so she's just fighting with whoever's next.
She got to. There's nothing else for her to do, It's like he's taken her for granted is what I heard too, because he's like, I don't worry about where, their little girl goes because you got it. And it's like sometimes she's saying sometimes she don't got it. Sometimes she'd rather not got it. That she would rather, that is one item you take off of her plate. But then again, it all comes to communication. Hey, Russell, when you leave for work, take her over to my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. Hey, Russell, have you thought about having a daycare space at the gym? Because even when he's thinking of her taking over the gym and managing it, she will need someplace for the kids to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like incorporating everything that comes with the family.
Yeah. And sit down with her and do it. Don't just plan it out without her, but include her in the plans. I feel like there's nothing more frustrating than not being included in plans that you're included in.
Which we're thinking that she didn't even pick out the colors, huh?
Hey, Shawnee, you ready? Come on. I see in the background. All right. Let me bring Sean on up. Hey, Shawnee.
Hey, JJ. Hey,
Stop
Elsie.
calling you Shawnee like that. Let me just call you by your name. That's my inside name. Let me stop saying it.
Because we're calling people out their name in this episode.
Right. We're getting a lot of call out the names. Let me be careful, okay? Let me call you. Let me put some respect on it. What you got to say about this?
I like the episode, I think it was, just a little fun. There was some fakeness, though. I did see some fakeness, which I wish, I wish we could do better when it comes to, seems like the little meeting with Kim and Christina, there was fakeness there. And Dr. Latoya, bless her heart, but I think she's fake and phony. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She's doing the best she can.
And Anthony needs to and now Brandon was messy too. I'm sorry. There's no way in HE double hockey sticks that he should have brought all of those ladies to go ring shopping. What the hell? Nah. Ain't no way.
I wrote a note on that specifically about Brandon. I think Brandon, I'm gonna say this in a nice, respectable, demure, mindful type of way. I think Brandon lacks the vision of seeing the whole picture when he has these intentions. I think he has good intentions for some things, but I think he lacks seeing the overall outcomes of some of these things. I'm not gonna say all of his intentions are bad. Like, this was a good intention. He wanted to bring the ladies in to help him pick a ring and possibly ask them about coming to the birthday party, because he asked the men. I know I'm jumping ahead, but he did ask the men. And I think he wanted to ask the ladies. And his intentions was good, but like inviting the BFF, knowing how she feels, knowing that she doesn't know that Christina and Latoya kind of semi made up or whatever, and then inviting these two at the same time. I don't know. But anywho, in this particular scene right here that we had up with Russell and Kobe, you got any thoughts, Sean?
Yeah, I know it was getting annoyed with me, but I'm sorry. I just think Kobe is just cranky, and I don't necessarily. I think the pregnancy may exacerbate it, but she's always been kind of whiny and entitled. Even last season, with her interactions with Christina and wanting her to do this and that. I do sympathize with her, though. I actually see exactly what you both were saying in terms of Russell prioritizing his family, because even if he wants to be a ministry, one of the things, even when I was involved in ministry, I wasn't a minister, but I was involved in ministry, is you're always taught that your first ministry is your home, and your home has to be intact before you're able to kind of do all these other things for so many other people. So I definitely see that they need to have better communication, because I think, like, although I hear what Kobe is saying to him, I think like she just kind of like nitpicks and kind of just, she's not straightforward and direct about it. And then he also needs to not tune her out, and he needs to listen. He needs to listen to what she's saying. He needs to, although he has a vision for where he wants to get to, he needs to make sure that his wife is supportive of that, and that her opinions matter, and that he can make some adjustments, right? I may want to get to here and do all these things, but I need to also be able to make some changes on one end, and it can't just be, we got to sacrifice and da 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 da, because obviously she is sacrificing, because she's primarily taking care of their daughter now and carrying, their second daughter. So I definitely think there's some balance that needs to happen there. This is just me, maybe my bias is coming out, but I think she was giving him a little jab because she was a little annoyed that he was over there helping out Christina and Brandon. She was like, "You got time to be helping other people, aka the ops." When I got all this stuff going on, it was a little shady. It was a little shady when she was like, "Oh, I feel bad for whatever they got going on." Kobe. But I get it. They're not really on a good foot just yet. So I do understand that could cause a little bit of stress. But yeah, she was being a little shady for sure.
Indeed, she was being a little shady a few times, but I do appreciate her at the very end. Before I get back to the part that threw me off, is that she was like, even though we're not on good terms, I don't want their marriage to be bad or whatever, and she doubled down on that later in the episode. So I was like, okay, I truly believe that her intentions for them as a couple are pure. Now, maybe for Christina, she might feel a different way, but she doesn't also want the marriage to be any problems up in it. However, her being surprised when Russell tells her, and it's like, I had no idea. Well, when Christina was trying to tell you, you didn't care to listen either. So, I don't know. I'm not saying no type of way, but it's just like, I don't need you to act all super surprised when he's telling you, oh, they're not, I found out they're not living together. It just goes to the thing, I didn't have no idea. Sorry to hear that. Don't give me the extras. I don't know. Any other comments on these two before?
I have got to respond to Sean saying Kobe is just cranky, even last season. If we remember, she was cranky because her husband made big family decisions without consulting her. He made the decision to go into seminary. He was being mentored by her dad, and she had no idea this is the trajectory of her life. He was looking to buy a gym. So she was a little cranky. Let's just say he is blessed that she is his wife.
I don't know about that. I think she's just cranky in general. I'm not even just talking about with Russell. I mentioned the issue that I mentioned was in terms of her attitude with Christina. She just comes off to me as a very entitled person, and that could be due to her upbringing. She probably, may have been a bit spoiled by her parents or what have you. Growing up as a kid, I don't know, but she just comes off as spoiled, and her voice is even whiny. I want to say this though. I think they are a beautiful family. I like their family. I like them as a couple. Just looking at her, she is a little whiny. She's whiny to me. Maybe cranky is the wrong word, but she's just a little bit of a whiny person. Even in her execution, even in the later scenes that we'll talk about in the thing, and her interactions, she kind of whines and she's a little cranky, But hey, look, there's a lot of things somebody can be. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just, my little opinion.
All right, time. All right, so we're going to move right along. In this debate, you guys cast your votes down and no, just now, yeah, you have a response, Elsid, or you good on it? You good?
Oh no, you can put a poll, Team Elsid or Team Sean is Kobe whiny.
Not the T. A presidential poll. Team whiny or team not so whiny? Tiny whiny.
They're all fake. It's fake news. It's fake news. They're lying. They're lying. Whatever they
They're
say,
all
they're
lying.
lying.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Anywho, moving right along. We arrive at Christina and Brandon's home, and why are you doing all this?
Oh, you
is
mean
where the next
Christina's
scene-
home that Brandon's visiting?
Well, I think his name is still on the deed. Dang, you done evicted this man quick, didn't you? He was just back a week ago. Oh, we're back at the home, and they have a conversations that eventually include their girls. How did y'all feel about this whole scene? Let me know.
Brandon wants to feel needed. He wants to feel needed. He wants to be needed. He likes to feel needed. And not just for math homework. I think they have a wonderful family. The girls are so cute. Oh my gosh. And very vocal, which I do like vocal children. And it's very different, his connection there too. But I didn't like that the show was posting up about his no ring. And it seemed to be like a non-issue. But what caught my attention was he was there for Thanksgiving for the sake of no questions from her family. Not that he wanted to be there to be back home, but no questions from her family. And then apparently he stayed a couple extra days and then he still left. I was like, Brandon, make up your mind. Do you want to be there? You were there. You could have capitalized of that goodwill. I'm sure it was very festive. And just be with your family. You could have stayed. So why? She didn't put you out like I just did. She didn't put you out. You left. So, and she said she learned so much about herself with him not being there. She learned that she can do many things without a husband, but she wants a husband. And I was like, the word choice from Christina was very interesting to me, but I don't know if that was part of her, play acting for the scene.
But did he actually leave, or did she ask him to go? Sean?
This scene confused me a little bit. But, as somebody, we all watch a lot of reality TV. So I guess they just kind of had to recreate a moment. And it was like, I didn't feel like I was watching like the real conversation. I felt like I was watching like, okay, this is the story we're going to tell. Because they were like, oh, I was here 2 weeks ago. And normally we wouldn't have those kind of conversations like placed like that. So it was a little clunky. And then as it kind of moved along, I liked it. I like that they brought the parents. I like as parents, they came together and brought the kids in to the conversation, because sometimes people are like, keep kids out of the business. No, the kids know what's going on. They may not know all the little details, but they're seeing how their life is impacted. And I'm glad as together they came and had a conversation with the kids. So I did like that part. I like seeing that part on TV too, because couples need to know how to navigate those situations. I don't know. I was very confused on which came first, the chicken or the egg. So did Brandon want to leave, or did Christina want him out? Or was she just reflecting back on now after he is now gone, how it felt for her, which I think was good, because now she can say, listen, I want you, and I want this relationship for what it is and not just for a dependency or like a routine. So there were aspects of it that I liked, but it was just very confusing in the beginning. Where's your ring? I need a new ring.
I know, I can see clearly now. I do want to come back when you are ready.
I'm sorry. Was that playing in the background?
Yes.
Oh, so sorry. I was wondering why you stopped talking. I'm thinking I'm on mute. I didn't think it was playing. I was trying to catch the scene. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I was like, all
Yeah,
right,
me learning my
let's
technicals.
insert the clip. Let's insert the clip. Let me be quiet.
My fault. I was trying to see if I could find where exactly what he was saying in the background while you was thinking. I didn't know it was going.
I said, all right, let me just be quiet and let's hear this clip now.
Yeah, let me mute it. Let me mute that instead of just mute me. My bad. Continue your thoughts, Sean. I'm sorry.
I'm done now. I'm good.
Damn it, this is how relationship arguments go.
No, it's no argument. I'm good.
I know we were arguing, but this is how they go. If somebody interrupted, you'd be like, you know what? I'm good. I don't even want to say no.
That's it, right? It's like, go ahead with it now. You know?
You got it.
Clearly, you wasn't cared about what I had to say. You want to watch TV in the background, you know? So what I'm saying ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So I'll just shut my mouth because obviously it's word salad.
I'm so
just
sorry.
like the girl said, Daddy need to act right. Like we need to act right.
That was so cute when they said that.
It was cute, but what I needed it to do is Brandon sit in that moment. Sit in that moment and register what your daughter said to you, not what your wife said to you, not what your friend said to you, what your daughter said to you, and what they're seeing. They're seeing their daddy treat their mommy bad. That's what that interpretation is. We see you not being good. You're not good all the time. And the oldest one try to sweeten it up. Well, nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? And I like that she understands that nobody's perfect. But at the same time, she's saying you could treat her better, though. But what you want to do is deflect and say, well, but what about mommy? Well, the girls are not talking about mommy right now. The girls are talking about daddy and how they feel about this whole situation right now. So let's stay there for a minute. Then we can move on to what the girls got to say about mommy. But then when the girls still didn't say anything about mommy, because guess what? The girls spend most of their time with mommy. It went back to still you, daddy. That tells you I need to sit with what my girls are saying. Does this hit home? And that kind of scares me because that still didn't register to him how you're impacting your girls. How this whole thing that now has occurred to you living outside of the house is affecting your girl and could possibly be their future. So it's like, though Christina has her flaws, you, Brandon, have to focus on yours. You can't fix hers. You could highlight them, but she got to fix them. You got to fix yours. So I need Brandon just to sit still for a second and really listen to what's going on. And, casually, you don't have your ring off. It's somewhere lost in this house. Why we have it off? You got back in the house, but why do you have it off? And I feel you too, Sean. I do feel like this conversation is another place conversation, strategic, because we get to talk about, what about updating my ring and stuff? Ma'am, are you allowing this man back in? So why'd you put him out? Or if he volunteered to leave, why you didn't say why you not just staying? Come on. Why are we pretending for the family? We're going through some things. Let's be honest. So maybe we can get the help that we need. I know sometimes bringing a whole bunch of people into our situation too early is not always good, but this has obviously been some months, at least a while for moms to be like, hey, so when your family come by, ma'am, you need to be honest with your family and tell them what's going on too, so you can get some advice. They might have, your parents may have gone through the same similar thing too. So I don't know. I need these two to stop trying to put on for the camera and like really work it out, because you're infecting 4 people now, not just 2. So I don't know. That's my thoughts. I don't know if you guys have any more.
It was just a little different for me seeing that he wasn't in the home regularly, that the girl's physical cleaving was to the mother. If you haven't seen your dad in a while, or you haven't seen someone in a while, you're usually up under them more. And even at the dinner table, they were more on Christina's and closer to Christina. And I'm like, it just looked distant, still looked very distant.
Yeah, no, my hope is that, it looks like they're getting back together and, working to, you know, bring their family unit as it once was. So, I hope that maybe they consider, I'm an advocate for somebody's counseling. If I don't do anything else, I would consider that they do that. Just as a family unit together to help navigate the new normal that they want to create, as well as helping the kids understand, um, you know, or maybe deal with any pain or hurt that they have had, because when one of the daughters said, I want you to do better, what was her impression of that? Like, what did that mean to her? Like I just, I would be interested, and I think you probably could use the help of an expert there to help navigate that conversation, help maybe unpack anything that she might have witnessed or saw, and help to talk through that with her. I'm glad that Brandon did address it right on the spot, because it did sound like something that the mother said to her, and she said, and I'm glad Christina said, be honest. Did I talk to you? Did I tell you those things? And she says no. And I don't think the little girl was lying. Um, so it's just kids formulate their own impressions. Sometimes we think we're having, conversations that they're not privy to, and they can hear and see and understand. They pick up energy. They know kids are very smart. Oh, especially nowadays. I don't know how it's evolved. When you see the younger kids, you know, they're just very keen and very aware of things and able to put words to things a lot better than I think, if you look at previous generations. So, again, I appreciate it. I love the conversation together as a family. I think those need to happen much more often, because then you can kind of collectively guide where you can guide your children, and then you're letting them know, hey, listen, you have a voice, you can speak up, you can speak your mind, obviously respectfully, about things that are happening, because we want children to have conversations. So much is going on in the world. And when we teach them to keep it to yourself, or don't stay here, or this is your place, kids don't understand, like, okay, for this I want you to speak up, but this don't. So I just appreciate that aspect of, let's encourage them to speak, let's encourage them to use their words, let's hear what they think, let's hear what they're feeling, because it's so important, versus them bottling it up and then having resentment for one another, or for one parent over the other. We're talking about this together as a family. So I really love that part of it.
I totally agree with you both. And their fundamental years, these are their fundamental years. That means that their foundation is being shaped and groomed by these years. So you were either teaching them to open up and stand up and talk out about how they're feeling in a healthy way, or we're teaching them to ball it all up and keep it inside and unleash it unhealthily. So I like what you're both saying. We definitely got to let our kids have a safe space to share what's on their minds. And sometimes we got to go, like you said, Sean, ask a couple more questions. What does that mean to you? What does that look like to you? Get a perspective of what they're actually seeing. What does me not being good to your mom look like? Well, it looks like not coming home, not kissing her, not holding her hands, not, so I like to know how my child's brain is working. When I know how my child's brain is working, I know how to better adapt for my child. I know how to put them in learning environments that are conducive to their learning abilities. You learn so much from kids. So sometimes just like dimming their voice is like not the best option, I say. And I thought it was a good conversation to bring. I like the way they did it too. They didn't talk the whole time while their kids was in the room and just act like they weren't there. They had their respectful conversation. They agreed both to have this conversation with the kids, and then they sat the girls down and let them, gave them a space to speak. So I thought it was very good. I hope it does help them grow as a family and move them back into a better space, him back into the home. But we'll see how it goes. He got to plan a little better, because if this party is going anything like how this ring picking out is going to go, he might not be back in too soon. Where she got the food from? Well, it doesn't matter. She know his order.
I was trying to figure out what it was. I was like, is it Asian food? Is it Thai? I couldn't figure out what it was. It
You
just
about to
looked like
order something tonight, huh?
beans and rice. Yeah, I was like, what is that? I want to know. But the way they was looking, Jay, I don't know if you or El Cid saw it, but the way they was looking at each other looked like a couple things went down during that
Oh.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, some turkey stuffing was definitely happening. Okay,
more than that turkey.
A little gobble gobble. Okay.
Apple pie.
I ordered your food for you because I was like, oh, okay.
I'm still your wife. He got some apple pie. All right.
Yeah.
We can't just fake it without a little, practice.
Exactly.
Little butt smack here or there.
Some peaches, some peaches. They had some more than peach cobbler, right? Hey, I love it.
Yep. Anywho, we're moving right along. So all the men gathered together because Russell hasn't seen them because he's been so busy. Okay, he's been so busy, so he hasn't been able to hang out with the boys lately. Another thing, he outside of the home, poor Russell. But anywho, he, the man need a break too. He out here painting and doing school and ministry. He got coaching Brandon's life and stuff. He got a lot going on, so he need a little break himself. He need a little breather away from, as Sean put it, Kobe. So they did virtual golf. I didn't know where this meeting was gonna go, how it was gonna go. The little clips like the lead us astray sometimes. And I thought Bravo and Marcel was gonna get up into it, baby. I was like, ooh, child. Okay. But the men at the end decided to agree to disagree on everything they disagree on. And they agreed to stay out the women's business. Oh, and Brandon had respectfully said, I'm going to ask your wives to come with me ring shopping because I want to invite everybody to Christina's surprise birthday party, but don't tell nobody. I was like, you probably should have gave Anthony his invite last minute, but we're going to see how he hold up this secret. Okay. What are y'all thoughts? Sean, you got it this time first.
Yeah. I think this, how Brandon navigated this probably is how he navigates things in the household. He kind of just gets right there and then he goes off track, like great idea to throw your wife a surprise party. Even greater idea, you're giving her something that she wanted that you feel like she deserves, which is an upgrade or replacement to the wedding ring. Wrong road to invite two people where she's on the fence and they don't really have, and that's such a personal thing, I think. And then you're not only are you bringing them, but you're bringing them, and then you're going to bring her best friend and her niece. The niece was the least problematic of everyone, but you got Chelsea in the mix, then you got Kobe, and you got Dr. Latoya. It's like, bro, it's too much too fast. They're just getting on a good foot. I don't even know if Christina might want them to be part of planning her ring. She might not even want any, because that's something so personal, she may not want them to be involved. I don't know. So I just wish he wouldn't have done that, even for the reason of there's still so much tension amongst the group. It would have been better for them not to be a part of this process. Invite them to the party, but not part of the process.
Like you said, Jay, I thought it was going to be Bravo have something to say. Maybe it was edited out, but he was like, oh, look who came here. His wife was messing up my last shindig. So we don't have to have some words. And he didn't say a thing about it. I don't know if it's going to rear its head later, but he should have said something right there, clear the air. Because it was really good when Brandon issued the invitation for the party. And Marcel is like, hey, you could leave us out of it. We good. He totally understood this is not where his wife would want to be. And it's certainly not where he would want to be, putting his wife in that position. So I think it was all in all good. But Russell needs a break. Russell needs a break. Okay, I was flabbergasted by that. I understand he needs a break, but hey, all these assignments is self-inflicted. I'm sorry. So you need a break. Kobe can't get a break. I'm sorry. So I have minimal sympathy for Russell, and he added to his plate by trying to have conversation with Brandon and help him and Christina. So yeah, Russell's stuff is self-imposed.
Just have a little grace. That's all the man asks for. Will Sid. Just a little grace. Oh my God. Oh well, Marcel overall said that he is not going to be BFFs with Brandon, but they can be cordial or whatever because clearly the wives are beefing and he done pick a side and it's his wife. Okay. His wife over everything. And I ain't mad at the brother. I appreciate him saying that at least we can be cordial. We might not be the best of homies, but his tension that he was giving it in, the tone he was giving it in, I was like, you giving me, I still don't rock with you, bro. Like, for real. Like, and I just like, okay, well, Marcel, do you and Bravo want to talk about something too? Or Bravo, do you want to talk to Marcel about something? I'm like, just tell the man your wife messed up my party, and I don't know about her being invited to too many things, but I hope this don't affect our relationship. You know what I'm saying? You could come, but I just might not be inviting your wife anymore. I don't know. I'm like, come on, Bravo, don't act like Dr. Latoya now. You see how that's wrong road, wrong road. Okay. So maybe they edit out their conversation because it didn't do much for the scene, but please don't be a Dr. Latoya. Just if you got beef with the man, tell him you got beef and tell him why. Okay. We ain't gonna go 3 seasons of trying to figure out what he did, why he did it, and who he did it to. All right. Anywho, there's a girls' birthday brunch, and Dr. Latoya has invited the ladies out, including Christina. And I don't know. This went quite interesting. It went quite interesting, to say the least. What y'all thought about this girls' day brunch? What else? Go ahead.
I think it was production who brought everyone in the order they walked in, because it was a little too perfectly laid out. Too perfectly laid out. I thought Dr. Latoya was going to say, hey, for those of us who can sample it, I have some samples of my champagne here for us to talk about. I thought she was going to do that, but the Christina Kim truce, I understand where Kim is coming from. It's been all these long years, though. It's been 6 years. Maybe that's, just me. It's been 6 years. I'm not paying you no mind, and I'm certainly not tearing up at the table because I haven't spoken to you in 6 years. We could keep on not speaking except for when we're on camera. I mean, to me, it was just a little too much. But I understand where she's coming from. I'm not emotionally, inept. But, I did like the conversation. Many of us do need to know at times that we're not the only one going through challenges, that we're not the only ones to, think that we're not, doing well in trying to get over these challenges. So it was really good to hear them support each other and the challenges they were going through. It was really, really good conversation in that regard.
I'll start with the positives. I'm glad that Dr. Latoya opened up a little more. I thought that was good because we don't usually hear amongst the group her sharing, herself. And, she was talking about some of the insecurities she has about not doing enough or not being enough. So, I was glad to hear that. And then kind of see the ladies all support each other and lean into each other in terms of how, they could be a support. But the part that I thought was fake, one, why is Latoya bringing all these ladies together knowing there's still contention without letting them know what they're walking into? For me, I think that still comes off as sneaky. And then she's so busy trying to defend herself and saying what she's not doing and what she didn't do. I think you just need to be transparent and say, hey, listen, ladies, I think it will be a good idea that we all kind of sit down and get together. I like to have a brunch where all the ladies come. Like, just be transparent and give people the option of what they want to walk into, what they want to be a part of, instead of like not telling everybody or waiting till they show up. I just wish she would have been, even if we all production knew behind the scenes or whatever it was, I still wish that those conversations are better navigated, especially when I have an issue of trust and I perceive you to be doing something one way and you say you're not. Let's just make sure we're crystal clear so that you know exactly, hey, I want you to come. I know we're trying to work on building things. I'm going to have dot. That way, I feel good about it. My energy is right if I'm walking into it. So I just wish she would have done that. And then the last thing that I just aggravated me to no tears, it's like, stop relitigating this. Are you a doctor or are you an attorney? I know you think I brought Kim in, but did I? I did not. Look, you're obviously not going to admit it if you did. And she's probably not going to change the way she thinks because of how the whole situation played out. So if you want to move on, you gave that phony fake apology, like, just stop. Just let it go, because it's just making it look more and more like you're just trying to defend yourself versus trying to just move forward.
I totally agree, Sean. I don't have nothing else to take away from it or add to it because you totally got all my negatives. Actually, I do have a little bit to add to it as well. And I also agree with you, El said, on the point of how they structurally came in. Because it's like, again, Latoya, you get to tell Kim, who we know is your friend, that, hey, I invited Christina, but Christina don't get a heads up. And you keep wondering why she feels ambushed. And like Sean said, leave this thing alone about who invited who, because you guys supposedly hashed it out over the whole thing. If you didn't feel like you invited her, don't bring it up again. Because now with your tone, again, in this setting, makes it seem like you're about to go on an attack of her. Instead of saying, hey, I know we talked about it the other night, that you feel like I brought her here. But I just, before you think I did it again, let me just say what this is right now, since I didn't give you the head up. She should have gave everybody the heads up. Group chat everybody. Hey, ladies, I want to get us all together for brunch. You know what I'm saying? Talk about this stuff. Plug her wine. I mean, her champagne, but we know it's not ready. But plug it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Get your shameless plug in, girl. I ain't mad. Plug it in there and go from there. And if people don't show up, they don't show up. At least Brandon did that in the right regards. Let me give you guys all the heads up as far as the birthday party. We know on the other part, he didn't quite do it with the best BFF. But on the birthday party, it's like, I want you all there. So if you don't show up, you don't show up. I want you all at brunch. Kim, me and Christina talked it out. I would like for you two to sit down, talk it out, whatever the case is. But she should have been up front. My other issue with it is, Latoya, Dr. Latoya, by you trying to start with Kim, you knew what you was kind of doing. It kind of backfired and worked out to be a positive thing at the end, which I'm really glad for. But you was trying to sit here and draw Christina out by bringing up how everybody is doing at home. Let's not go there. I know what you was intentionally trying to do. But luckily for Christina, she seen through it too and just kept it where it was. But it turned out a very good conversation. I think it was a very needed conversation. I like these conversations. I would love to see these reality shows do more of this, because this is actually real life conversation. We do sit around and talk about little nuances like this, like, how is it dealing with two girls? Because being I'm about to have another one. And you find out, oh yeah, you're gonna have one that team up with you on the other one, and she's kind of like your little warden around the house. She helps you out, you know what I'm saying, with the little one, or vice versa, because sometimes the little one be bossy, Yeah, that's your little spies sometimes. So you get these fun interactions that need to be brought more to the show. and less of the drama. And again, Kim, I understand they both agree that they're going to talk in private about this issue, but there's no issue. A friend of Christina's was talking about you. Why are you so invested to what the hell that friend thinks? You don't know that person. Why is that what their thoughts so much affecting your life? You going around doing businesses, you doing motivational speaking, doing great things for the community. Why does your iPhone or Android have to be the reason why you have this disdain for Christina? Like, I hope, and when they have this private conversation, that there is something more deeper than the friend talking about it. Because you're like so butthurt that even in this moment, all you can say is, I was a real sister. I was a real person. I was this to you. So how is she not being her real self to you? Because maybe her real is not the same as your real. Maybe her level of sisterhood is not matching what yours is. But that's okay. We choose people in our lives because they complement us, not match us. So I don't understand. I just don't understand this whole big thing with it. Go ahead, Elsie.
I know what it is. She's not a proud Android user. She's not staying 10 toes down with her Android pride. And maybe she wants to be an iPhone, in real life. But, she's kind of, behind the 8 ball now. And she is, with Team Android. She can move it along. We just want proud Android people on our team. So she could certainly move it along because there's nothing to cry about at all. Because one thing with Androids, if our phone falls, we are not cracking on instant. Okay? Nothing to cry about.
You better tell her.
I respect that, but Jay, that Android you pulled out is looking a lot like a iPhone these days. I'm sorry, it looks like they are, doing a little bit of copy and pasting of the format. You know what I'm saying? I just want to put that out there.
No. Your format as copy and pasting mine, because mine's a square. First of all, just because the casing. Okay, don't have me take the case off. This is
I'm looking at that camera too. Look at that camera. Look at the camera.
No, the camera got updated after ours. Okay, your camera got updated after ours.
Not with all these little circles.
We still Android still has the best cameras. Okay,
that you do. I'll give you that.
Okay, and this is not even the best one. Okay, the Google, actually, that Google Pixel kind of go hard. It's kind of making me kind of reconsider Samsung. I'm not sponsored by either, but if they do decide that they want to sponsor me, I am open to talk and negotiate. Please call me.
I'm an Android Samsung, so come on over.
Call me.
The non-exploding kind.
Y'all better tell them. Shoot, I have the best. Okay, all right. Now I don't know about the non-exploding. I don't know what all them phones that was in everybody's pocket was. I'm a little scared. Prayers to those families, though. No jokes. That's serious. Oh, what the shape of my phone looks just like an iPhone. Poor Tina. You prove it, shine right. But I'm not me muting myself. I'm not about to stop being Sean's friend because he don't like my phone. What the hell? He ain't using it.
Or paying the bill. Okay.
Right. Sure. Talk away, friend. Talk away. Just know I'm coming back with these jokes too. Like what? So I pray. I really do pray that it's something deeper than.
But it was the petty part of it is that it wasn't even Christina that made the comment.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you want her to fight the other person for you over the phone.
Right.
I think she just wanted Christina to stop. It's kind of like jonesing. Like if I was going and talking about Sean and I'm going at his iPhone and you, Jay, are just there cackling and laughing. I think she would have wanted to say, that's enough. Let's move on. I think she may have wanted that instead of, laughing and edging it on. But again, nobody can control an adult's behavior. So just move it along.
Just move along, or just say, hey, friend, I just wanted you to do a little bit more in that moment. It's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? It's giving like Chelsea's going to say later in the episode, you just really didn't want to be here in the first place. You didn't want to be my friend in the first place or whatever I had going on, you didn't want to be a part of. And you could just easily say that instead of holding all this negativity and grudges like this, because we could be cordial. We ain't got to sit here. We ain't got to sit here and hurt nobody, but we could just really be cordial and just like, all right, I don't really rock with you no more. We was cool. We just outgrew each other. I don't understand how that's so hard. You know, I got people that I don't hang with like I used to. It's no beef. It's no nothing. If they did me something wrong, I couldn't even tell you if they did. But when we see each other, it's still love there. It's like, hey, they might be like, hey, why we don't kick it no more? Why you don't hang and come and party with me like Diddy say? You know what I'm saying? But I got my reasons. I can't do no Diddy party. I can't get baby oil all over me. You know what I'm saying? It itches. I don't know.
If it really is baby oil, okay?
If it really is. I can't trust it no more now. Can't even buy it. I'm just saying, like, I don't get it. Anywho, moving on from there, I finally get to know what this lady's name is, and thank you, Bravo, thank y'all production and editing for giving him a chance to be able to say his wife's name, okay? Because I was saying it all wrong. It's Lakita. Okay, as her name is Lakita. I'm sorry, ma'am. I've been getting your name wrong. I've been chopping up. I'm probably gonna do it again because my brain gonna fry in about 2 weeks. But right now, I know it's Lakita, and we in their home with her and Bravo. And it sounds like she needed to be at this daggone brunch too. And I don't know. I guess Latoya right now is the middleman that we only have, and she don't have Lakita's information to get all the ladies together because Christina ain't gonna call the ladies. Kobe ain't gonna call the ladies. Kim for sure ain't calling some of the ladies. So I guess Latoya was the only one to have the brunch together, and she just don't have Lakita's number. But Lakita need to obviously be at this brunch too because she seemed like she going through the same things. All of y'all should be in what's that First Wives Club or whatever that movie was when they was all finding out they got the same problem, problematic man. Yeah, she need to be invited to the brunch. But I as they continue to go on, immediately we initially think, oh, you out here in these streets, you don't want to come home, you don't want to do this, and you're worried about your man being out with loose women and whatever else going on. And that's the first place my mind went until she told her story. And then I was like, oh, it makes a whole lot of sense. You're in a triggered mood, like you're traumatized still, and you're with every right to be. She has every right to be traumatized because I wouldn't want my child to experience some of the hardships that I experienced growing up as a child. So I get it. She don't want her children to grow up without their dad because he was outside the nightclub working, doing whatever it is, and somebody unalives him. So I totally get this whole conversation. I think he doesn't get the seriousness of what she's saying. I think he just thinks in the back of my mind, yeah, you're using that as an excuse. However, you're just worried about me and whatever I got going on out here and stuff. And it's just like, no, sir, I just need you to communicate your whereabouts so I know the last place to start looking in case. If I pop on the news and they say over here on such and such mile, I know you weren't on that mile. I know you're safe. Or if you were on that mile, I need to figure out where you are now. So another Russell, I need you, sir, to hear your wife out and truly understand what it is she's asking. What's your thoughts on it?
Yo, Kita, that just took me. It just took me. I was like, Bravo is really at home and comfortable around the cameras because his wife's nickname came out. I don't know why she isn't involved. I would like her to be involved with the other ladies because, as she said, she's going to be sitting at home while he is out. And he says some people have business suites and he do business around the streets. So, yeah, I could understand that. But my question is based on, how she lost her dad. I wonder if she always knew that Bravo was going to have clubs, if he was always going to manage clubs. Because then I would question, why would you choose a man that would be doing business in the environment where you lost your dad? So that would be something really I'm wondering. And I'm wondering, the kids are with her parents overnight. Why couldn't she go with him tonight? I'm like, why?
Well, he was going to the game first. I mean, she could have probably met him later on, but he going to the game first sounded like.
So why I can't go to the game? Wait a minute. Is it exclusive to him?
They only got one season pass. They ain't got two.
Elle said, you know, you don't like bringing your spouse to work day.
Not to work, but if we go into a game,
he was going to work.
He was working. Yeah, that's his work. That's his business.
Okay, then I'll meet you later. Jeez Louise.
Elle said is not having it. Okay.
No, because the kids are taking it, eliminated her argument. She said, hey, you know, we don't get to spend time. And he's like, okay, I'm going out. I'm ready already. And it's like the kids are gone and I'm here. There was no opening for, as you guys say, you know, we're going to the game, but we're going to be somewhere later. I'll let you know. And you could, you know, come hang out, even if it's for, you know, some time.
I'm guessing that she doesn't know sports. And listen, it sounds like it was a preseason game because he said it was Saturday. And I was like, what game you going to on Saturday? In a Lions, you're in a Lions. You're not in a college football jersey. You're in a Lions jersey or whatnot. And I'm trying to recall, because it's been a while since I really watched preseason games. I'm trying to recall if preseason played on Saturdays.
And does Detroit have any college teams?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed it.
You got MU and all that. You got Michigan State. You got all of those. You got big college teams. But I was just like, maybe it's just wear whatever jersey you want to wear to whatever game you're going to. We're not going to the Lions game. Maybe that's it. I'm gonna give them that. But I was just like, sir, where are we going? Where are we going? And it sounds like it's at night. What football game is at night? This late? My other thing is, before I let Sean jump back in, neither one of y'all are communicating, ma'am. I know you complaining about him not communicating his whereabouts, but did you not arrange, hey, what you doing Saturday? The kids is going to be with moms. I'm trying to have a little long time with you. Because you know he busy. He on the road all the time. So sometimes you just got to ask him, hey, what's your schedule like for this day? But yeah, go ahead.
It would have been a honey, bring my drink upstairs, please.
Go on here, Sean. Put some testosterone in this conversation.
I mean, if he is, I'm not exactly sure what he does. Is he like a club promoter, club owner? Does he own suites? I'm not really sure what aspect of the entertainment business he participates in. But it's not something that would be conducive probably, you know, to bring your wife along. You're moving and shaking. You're trying to entertain people if that's part of what he does. And then you kind of have to look over and be worried. He would have to be worried about his wife. And, you know, like, I think they need to better structure their time together. And when they do have downtime, he needs to make sure he has a commitment, you know, to doing things with her specifically. I also think he needs to take into consideration some of that past trauma that she has and just more effectively communicate. But I also think she needs to work through that because she might have some PTSD. You know, she might have some PTSD and, you know, she's got to work through that because she can't over project that onto him either, you know? So it's kind of like a balance. But it sounds like she still has some pain from losing her dad so young and so tragically. So I think that, you know, she got to work on that and he has to work on spending a little bit more quality time with her. And was there a communication issue? Like, why would she send the kids to be with her parents and then she's just going to send home alone? Like, did she talk to him about that first? And, you know, did they agree to do something and he changed his plan? What happened there? Because that don't make sense. You know, that does not make sense to me at all. Because I know when I was married and my stepkids were away, that's the time for us to, you know, have some adult time. So I know if the kids are going overnight, close the curtains and let's have some fun. So I don't understand why he missed that opportunity, or was that communicated, or it could have been communicated better.
Well, all he said at the end was, I'll be done with this meeting. I'll try to come home early. But then as the conversation continued, it was, well, I got to go over here, and then I got to go over here, and all this stuff. So it's like, what? So I don't know. I don't think it was properly communicated, but then it wasn't getting no better as the conversation went on either, because it almost gave, I don't care still that the kids are gone. Hopefully you'll be up when I get home. I don't know. I think we should see more of them, because they seem like they need someone working some stuff out too. We need to see, they sound like they got some things going on. I don't know, but maybe we'll get more of them. We got a whole new couple that we get more of, and we've been having them on here already. I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see where it goes. But I love seeing all the kids this episode. That was the kids are so adorable. I love seeing that. But yeah, looks like everybody wants to see a little bit more of Bravo and his wife. So sounds like they got a little bit of drama, because communication ain't communicating.
Yep, it definitely ain't. Any other thoughts before we move it on?
What do you think about that cocktail machine, Jay?
The cocktail machine?
Yeah, where he made her drink.
Oh, those little pre-made drink machines. I've been looking at them, but it's like more work by hooking up the bottles and doing all that stuff than just making your own machine. Like, you got to put this bottle and make sure you got this one there and that one there and stuff like that. I mean, I get it. To a degree, especially when you don't know certain recipes. It might have some pre-stored, some of your favorites up in there. But child, it looked like more work and more cleaning than just going ahead and making myself. But then I also make drinks, so there's my job. Everybody can't do that. Everybody don't know how to make a drink. So I don't know. You said that it's definitely making it more interesting than last season. That's a good thing. More couples. Yeah, no, definitely more couples. We want to see more of this particular couple. Like, we've had them last season, but we didn't get much of them. They were just friend of, and it's giving that they're still friend of. And maybe Carlos King he's definitely choosing a different approach than Bravo, because we know the friends of usually be in most of the mess and starting most of the mess. But he's like kind of shelving the friends of, because we had that with the Duncans over in DC. And I think the Duncans had some stuff to share with us, but we just didn't get much of that either. So I don't know. It's a Carlos King thing. Okay. Gotcha. Anyway, moving right along. So we're down to the last scene of this episode, the big ring shopping of it all. And, this is where we get time to just put it all on the table while we in the fancy jewelry store. And, got a man just standing here looking and don't even realize, let's bring it back to the focus. Let's bring focus back into the rings, y'all. Let's stop arguing. I know he said stay out of women's business, but child, Brandon is way too timid for anything. Brandon is way too timid. He is not jumping in anywhere. So I'll be trying to figure out how you gonna be running your house the way you do, but you can't even sit here and tell these women, hey, can we just focus on this ring I'm trying to get right now? Y'all can hash this out later. Please, ma'ams. But anyways, I'm going to have probably some unpopular opinions about this scene. So I'm going to let y'all go ahead and go first. Whoever wants to go.
Don't matter. I was trying to be gracious. If not to Russell, to Sean, definitely. So why is Brandon squinting at the ring without, the jeweler's magnifying glass? Why is he squinting down at the ring? I was like, Brandon, please stop for the camera. the jeweler, I'm glad that they give them, a local jeweler some, eartime. But Chelsea came with what my great grandmother would say. She's taken medicine for other people's illness. And because, again, she's following the whole, if my friend Christina got a problem with you and you had something to say about me, then, and I have actually a problem with your husband. So I will state it to you, Dr. Latoya. So, and then the whole, foggy brain calling out the name. And I'm like, Chelsea, this is not about you. Brandon invited them here to help him. Let him get to the business at hand. Let him help pick out a ring, and you take your business that you have with Dr. Latoya outside. But now is the time Brandon want to be quiet and just stand there and watch. Now he wants to just, be at the tennis match looking to see where everybody's hitting. I mean, Brandon, now is the time you should have spoke up and say, hey, this is not about y'all. It's about Christina. Chelsea was doing too much. I'm sorry. I agree with Dr. Latoya to respectfully decline the invitation to the party. I would have done so too. And I thought it was gracious. Chelsea said it was piss poor, but I'm sorry. I thought it was gracious to tell Brandon right there publicly, I'm going to decline the invitation, because if this is what I'm getting at the ring shopping, if this is the attitude, I'm sure she's going to bring this attitude at the party, and I don't want to be there to cause any kind of issues at your party. So I'm sorry. I agree with Dr. Latoya. I'm not going there. Chelsea was too much. This was, her opportunity to have a scene, and then to jump in front of Brandon when Christina's having a conversation. It's like, whew, geez Louise. It was just too much. It was too much when it wasn't even about her.
I will contend that I feel like Chelsea did too much. But the part that I do have an issue with is I have a problem with somebody throwing things around and then want to say this isn't the time and place. If it's not the time and place, don't talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, she starts saying, well, I heard this and I heard that, and somebody told me that you were tweeting negatively about my business. If you're not going to talk all the way about it, then don't talk about it. She should have just said straight out of the gate, listen, Chelsea, we're all just trying to be on the same page here. Maybe you and I can sit down and talk about this another time, or I don't want to talk about it with you at all. I saw what I saw and I don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, just that. But don't put your thing out there, and then when somebody responds, then you're like, oh, this is too much. No, if you open the door for the conversation, have the conversation. And I'm sorry, I know Elle said, likes her cape for Kobe, but Kobe should not have gotten involved. She should have nobody was I think Chelsea was well within her right. Now, was it a low blow to say the two stooges? Sure. But it was funny to me, because why are you inserting yourself? And then you want to talk about, you should have called pregnant women names. Stop it. Knock it off. Okay, knock it off. You inserted yourself. She didn't even talk to you. She was talking to Dr. Latoya, and here you go. And Dr. Latoya is just sitting back there letting it happen. It's like, nah, you should have said to Kobe, hey, listen, I got this. I don't want you're pregnant. I don't want you to get your stress levels up. It's not even worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what a good friend would have done. When you see her trying to be your defense, say, hey, look, I got this. Chelsea and I can talk about this. Matter of fact, let's not. You know what I mean? Like, something like that. But and then Kobe wants to play the victim. And that's what I mean. Like, that's the part that kind of agitates me a little bit with Kobe. It's like, nobody talked to you. You inserted yourself into the conversation. She continued to say, hey, listen, I'm not talking to you. You still want to make it about you. And then you want to get mad. And now you're storming off. So that's my little 2 cents about it. And as we see, all of Dr. Latoya's nonsense, she's still going to be there at the dinner. So she made all that big preamble about what she's not going to do and why she's not coming. And guess what? Anthony and his messy self got her right over there. So she's going to be there, and let's see how that goes.
Well, damn, I thought I was going to have the unpopular opinion. It looks like LCN won that battle. Because I am with you, Sean. I am with you, Sean. First of all, I was like, Kobe, ma'am. Kobe, ma'am. First, ma'am, don't volunteer your lies, okay? Because first of all, you're going to come here and talk about my husband don't pillow talk. Well, your husband clearly gym talks. You don't want to know why? Because this evidence right here proves that he does. I'm sorry. Do I need to further go down the evidentiary train on this or no? Because he clearly has pillow talk. Now, you can say that, it definitely wasn't on any bedtime notion. It was at night, though. It was at night. Let's clarify. It was at night. Okay. But your husband did share the message with you. How did you get here? He shared some information with you, ma'am. Okay, so you volunteered that first lie. Then you come in and you're butting in because she never specified. She never called and said, you two, none of this stuff. It was directed to LaToya. She said, we're clearing, since everybody's clearing the air, let me go ahead and clear it. So I don't feel like Chelsea was doing too much in this situation. Her tone was a bit elevated, yes. But she was very clear in her words, respectful in her words, outside of the Two Stooges comment. She was actually communicating very well on what it was that she felt was a problem. And again, Dr. LaToya doing what Dr. LaToya does best is acting like she don't know what the person is talking about when she's made all these comments. You went on the reunion and you spoke about her. And because she has tweeted or whatever she tweets, which there's still no proof of, but there's tweets out there that you've seen because somebody from the streets brought it to you, but you don't have no proof. You can't recall what was said. And you don't want her to have a voice back on how she feels about anything. And like she said, I have not said anything against you or your brand or whatever and stuff like that. So what is it that you've seen or what you saw? Now, if you can show that proof, that's one different thing. And then she could stand corrected and own her mistakes. But Dr. LaToya, we keep getting proof. As soon as you said, I ain't say nothing, guess what? Editors, they show you on the reunion talking about her. But you want to say she's trying to make herself relevant. If she was trying to make herself relevant, why are you bringing her up? Sounds like you're doing it for her. You don't want to give her a place to shine. Do like Kobe did. Just leave. Because guess what? She can't argue with you no more once you leave. But you stood in there and you wanted to go back and forth, again, providing no proof of these folks that tell you anything. This is a tiring cycle with Dr. LaToya. I'm sorry. I'm tired of her making this her storyline on some people from the streets told me, but I'm not going to reveal my sources, give away any of my proof, none of my receipts, none of that stuff like that. It makes absolutely no sense. Stop bringing this to the table if you're not willing to share. This is reality TV. Like, we got to share. So, and yes, I agree with Sean, still on Kobe. Stop acting like a victim, ma'am. You butted in. So when she call you whatever, you can't call a pregnant woman outside her, ma'am, now we're not going to weaponize this baby, okay? We're just not going to weaponize this baby up in your stomach. Now, she can't put her hands on, she shouldn't be putting her hands on, I can't say she can't, but she shouldn't be putting her hands on a pregnant woman. But if she want to bless you out the way she want to bless you out, she can do that. And you can walk out the way you walked out. But you inserted yourself. So you got whatever was coming to you when you did that. You could have stood quiet like Brandon clearly did. It made himself invisible real quick and said nothing and let these two ladies work it out. So, and on the other level too, Elle said, I don't know how you didn't like it because my petty levels was like at an all-time high on this. I was like, oh, this is an elite petty. I love it. Like, you didn't think it was petty because it wasn't Joan and petty, but she was elite petty with it. When I go off on you, and I do it in such an educated, demure, mindful manner, I love it.
It didn't seem very elevated and demure to me. It seemed very in your face. There was no finesse about it.
It got in your face at the very end when she tried to go through Brandon.
Yeah, it was no finesse about it. It was, and that's probably why I do like my petty to be a little, gasping, a little genteel south, a little wonder if I was just cut or not, but she went real to the face. And the thing is that, she really has a problem with Anthony, because Anthony is the one that said, act like a grown up at the grown ups table.
But she has a problem with Anthony. But the problem is, in this case, what I got from it, and I can probably go back, try to pick it up. But what I got from it is that LaToya started saying stuff afterwards. Because Christina says, now this could be Christina being messy. And LaToya, but see, in that defense, LaToya should have said, well, you need to talk to your friend, because I never said anything like that. But she didn't. She went automatically, I was told such and such. There were some tweets about me. Or whatever.
For me, Dr. LaToya is not standing 10 toes down. See, for me is, I would have had the screenshot and I would forward it to you right as we stand there. I would have had all that, documentation. I would have said something. I would have probably responded to your review online. So you would have seen it came from me. But I understand where Dr. LaToya wants to go. But you see, my petty bell would have been rung, and I would have been like the horses in the horse race. The doors just open, and I would have been galloping. So I would have ran straight into that. So my thing is that, I understand what Dr. LaToya wants to be, but everything is those folks I heard on the street. Someone told me, you see, I need you to say, yo. I ain't going to tell you who it is on camera, but I'm going to tell you who it is. Or I don't give a damn. If you tell it to me, I'm going to say it.
The wonderful thing about this person, this actual particular somebody said is, all you need is a screenshot of the tweets that was supposedly given to you, because those tweets is not going to show who gave it to you. It's going to show Chelsea saying what she said. And you say, sis, what is this? Exhibit A, what is this right here? Because this is you saying this, right? This is your tweet, right? Don't support his wife's business. That's what my problem is. That's why I said whatever I said with you. And we could have nipped it in the bud right there. That's clearing the air or whatnot. And Shane, I'm going to go to your comment on this right here. I'm going to tell you what Kobe did. And this is from working in a bar and watching this happen often. This is not defusing the situation. And it's nothing against it or whatever, stuff like that. Diffusing the situation would have been redirecting the whole thing back to why we're in here in the first place. Hey, ladies, let's just focus on this ring right now, and we'll talk about this later. But if you notice, Kobe kind of goes on to the attack of Chelsea. She doesn't say anything to LaToya or anything like that. And yes, Chelsea is doing the most talking, so it's going to always look like I need to talk to Chelsea. But I don't get hyped with the person that's hyped. That's not diffusing the situation. I can't match their energy and expect it to calm down. It's just going to escalate even more, especially on a negative scale. So there's an art to diffusing the conversation, and she didn't do it very well. And I'm going to give her this, though. She's hormonal. So she should have just kind of stayed out of it altogether, because the hormone is going to lead a lot of her conversation. Now, she probably had the intent to diffuse it, but being hormonal, you half a what? A what? Now, I tried to tell you, just calm this stuff down. Get real quick,
She carrying She carrying 4 X chromosomes right now.
Right. All of that estrogen in her body going circulating right now. She pissed. And she thinking about her husband not listening. She ready to bop anything. Okay, she too hormonal.
And then you don't know, her ring may be feeling kind of tight, and she may need a new one. And Russell ain't here to get her one too.
Right.
We don't know.
I'll be glad when Kobe has this baby, so we can stop blaming everything on her pregnancy. I can't wait till her to have the child.
Wait a minute, Sean. Don't.
And let me answer this question real quick. Had Kobe took a different approach and Chelsea kept going, then we know for a fact that Chelsea came in to fight. But sometimes when you're diffusing and the person's not really trying to fight, they're going to stop. They're going to actually stop. When you come in with a mediator tone, you come in with I hear what you're saying. I understand both sides, but this is just not the time and place, ladies. You garner a certain respect from people, they'll stop. But
Kobe ain't that messenger, because remember, Kobe and Christina have, their own issues. So Kobe isn't that person to diffuse. I think Chelsea also came into, y'all got a problem with Christina. I got a problem with you. So I don't care what you say. We got a problem.
And
yes,
that goes,
Dr. Latoya's husband is my main thing, but you sit right there because I'm gonna come to you next. That was the energy I was getting.
That's definitely the energy she's on, and that's Brandon's fault, because Brandon, set these ladies up. You should have taught them. Yeah, but you also should have gave the heads up prior to, not to that they come in, but to, hey, Christina and Latoya have made amends. I'm just gonna let you know now, Christina and Latoya have made amends. So if you feeling some type of way for my wife, just be cool. He could have stepped in. He should have been diffusing the situation, to be honest with you. He should have redirected the whole conversation back to the fact that we're here to find the right ring for my wife. I have not found it. Instead, he's telling us in the thing, well, I'm still gonna find a good ring. Well, why did you invite these ladies in the first place if you're not gonna use their help? And I know you're not looking for the niece to do it. She don't know none of these ladies. And at the end of the day, like I said, I agree with Chelsea, and even Anise picked it up. Latoya is looking for a way out not to come to this thing, because her first statement was, your wife didn't invite me. Brandon invited my husband. He invited everybody, ma'am. Now, I don't know how your husband went back and told you. I don't know if your Anthony went back and said, oh, Brandon invited me to the party and made it seem like he left you out. But he invited everybody. So cut the crap. Cut those little bitty petty details that makes no sense. Like, your husband gonna just go to the party without you because they BFFs and y'all not cool. Like, okay. All right. But like y'all said, y'all done seen her already in the previews for next week. So she gonna get her butt dressed. She just want to throw a tantrum to see if she can run her husband, which clearly she can't, because he said he going with or without you, ma'am. So you might as well put your clothes on if you're gonna do this. Otherwise, this cab is leaving at 10.
You coming on now? Because I'm going.
Meet me there. you gonna be a while. You gonna make us late. Meet me there.
Anthony said he's going where the mess is. He was like, this is where it's about to pop off. So I ain't gonna miss this chance to be in the mix.
I can't miss any more pink poodles.
No, so
he said I can't
Brandon
if I'm not in it.
Not Brandon. I think oh man, what is his name? I done forgot his name now.
Which Anthony?
Anthony, yeah. I think Anthony low-key has a crush on Christina too. Yeah, he reminds me, for those that watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, he reminds me of how Marceau is with Melody.
Melanie, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He definitely does. Mm-hmm.
It might be something about her demeanor. He might not have like an all-out crush on her like that, but it might be something about her demeanor overall. Whatnot. And maybe she represents what he would like out of his wife. It might not necessarily be Christina, but what she represents of how she is as a housewife and that and stuff like that. How she kind of caters to Brandon, though at times she probably should be like a little bit more like Latoya with Brandon. But yeah, it might be a little bit of envy on how she is in her marriage compared to his. So I don't know. We just speculating at this point, but we'll see. Allegedly.
But the petty in me was definitely happy to see finally somebody step up for Christina, because I feel like it's just constantly she's getting Kim coming out of the woodworks. This one's coming out of the woodworks. Kobe and Dr. Latoya are teaming up against her. So, I was just glad that Chelsea had her back. Again, I wish she, would have executed it a little differently, not chosen the ring day to do it. But I also understand you don't know when you're going to see these people again. So I'm not going to sit up in your face and be fake. Let's clear the air. And again, I just feel like Dr. Latoya is always getting her evidence from some next person. And it's like, come on. Did you see it for yourself? Or are you just taking somebody's word that they said something and it's there and you're playing the game of telephone? Like, stop. I thought you learned that lesson with Christina, and taking other people's word who you're not going to name for something. So yeah, I'm kind of I'm kind of over it, and I'm glad that Chelsea said something, and Kobe inserted herself. She should have just excused herself if she was getting annoyed. Like, hey, if you don't want to be there, I don't think she should have sat there if she was not liking it. But say, you know what, guys, this is a lot of tension for me. I'm having a baby. I got my own stress. I'm a head on out.
Now we're going to have the men have a problem because, Brandon, why are you there while this lady is chewing out my wife and you invited her there? And I would expect that you would protect her while she is there. So the men could end up with a lot of ruffled feathers on Brandon's end because, he may push back and like, we going to stay out the lady's business. We ain't going to do nothing. But, this could shake up the fragile foundation that the men are standing on.
Yeah. No. I don't know. We'll see. Because if by the previews, it ain't looking like it's gonna get better from a lot of these ladies. We come together just to we make up to break up. That's all we do. Because first you love me and then you hate me. It's a game for fools, baby. Woo! Because that's all we doing. Because it looked like by next episode, Kim and Christina can't even have the conversation, and it's just gonna go left. I really just I feel like it's just gonna go left because Kim doesn't have a real issue to stand on. So we just got to keep deflecting before the world realize, girl, you mad about this? So, and as y'all said, I'm trying to get to it exactly, but there is a little thing. Let me see if I can get to it because I did see y'all girl sitting at the table. Hold up. She's sitting at the table with her. Oh, shoot. Hold up. I missed it. Went too far. Went a little too far. I just want to see if I could just pause it on that spot. I keep highlighting it, but it won't stay right there where I want it. This thing is evil. Evil technology. But I keep going here. Okay, maybe it's a half a second back. Let me see. You know what? I'll figure it out later. We'll get to it. But yes, I did see her. in the next episode. She put her little dress on and she got her butt up in that daggone car. And she stood by her man. So she gonna be there as much huff and puff that she did, saying, I'm not going to come. And the only reason I did say I really like Chelsea's petty is because at the end, because my petty would have went all kamikaze left field and just like, F you, my friend don't need you at her party. See, I'd have went too far. I would have went too far. My petty has not got to this space of saying, no, do show up because it's not going to be about you, which is the true case. I really know it's not going to be about them when they get there, but I'm not going to tell them that. So my petty would not have sat here in this moment like she did. She did a very good job to be like, no, do come to the party because you got the invite. Do come to the party because the party is not about you. It is about my friend. I'm not about to make a scene with you at my friend's party.
But you're making it now at the ring shop. How do I trust that you're not going to make a scene? It ain't about you. It's about your friend right now in the ring shop.
No, it was about them right here, though. Elle said it was about them because the whole thing started as, since y'all clearing air, let's clear the air.
Yes, but we are at the ring shop to pick a ring for your friend. Zip it. It ain't about you and it ain't about me. It's about your friend. So if you have this much energy at the ring shop, I don't trust you to behave at the party.
It did sound like that meme, come outside, we won't jump you. It did sound a little bit like that. It's like, she's like, come to the party. I promise we won't jump you, but you might get jumped. If it goes left, you just might get shut up. So
like I said, I would have messed it all up. I'd have messed it jumping up because I'd be like, you better not show up to the party because we will jump you. See, I'm all wrong. I need to learn this petty. Like, come. Please show up.
Not on camera, Jay.
It's gonna be
Not on camera.
no problem. I
Please show
promise.
up. It won't be about
Meanwhile,
you.
you got
But if
her
you want to
earring
make
on.
it about you, but what if you want to make it about you when you get to the party? Guess what? No.
Not on camera.
All day, every day.
No.
So why is everybody wearing black and she wearing red though? So she hide the blood stains?
I noticed
Is that
that
it?
too. I noticed
Is that
that
it?
too. I was like, okay, hostess with the mostess, you're gonna be seen, huh? Somebody got to see me. Because I noticed that too. I was like, even Christina got like black on. Ma'am, you in a Jessica Rabbit outfit, but all right, I see you, girl. We're gonna see how that work out for you.
Yeah, I wish that in that moment, Chelsea, she could have just been like, you know what? Let's leave this here. The party is the party. It's not going to be anything else, right? You know, but you just she just added jabs on it. It's not about you. So it's kind of like she's taunting her. Look, low key, I'm still glad she gave them what they needed to get, because they've been trying it and playing these I'm the victim games behind the scenes the whole time. And now somebody is effectively calling them out, and really they're getting a dose of their own medicine and sent them all scampering out the door. So I was kind of low-key happy. I mean, I'm not going to hold you. I was a little happy that Chelsea piped up. Again, could it have been executed a little nicer? Of course it could have been. But I enjoy watching this.
I'll just say this for myself. I'm prioritizing my healing, and my petty is just not high on that list of priorities right now. So we'll get there eventually, you know what I'm saying? But I'm working on some other parts right now. So I'm not healed. So do not follow my advice on this level of petty, because obviously there's some consequences to it, as my team is informing me, and I probably should lower up. However, no. However, okay, I felt like it was some much needed petty. Dr. Latoya needed to be knocked down a little peg or two, okay? And I need her to come with the receipts. Now she got to drum up these receipts, and I don't want them at the reunion. That's too much time to make some fake receipts. No, just
You mean you don't want her to pull the binder out? You don't want her to pull the paperwork out?
No, she can't do that. She got to do a new one. That
couch cushion?
That one's too well done. I'm sorry. Everybody's trying to copy Monique on that one. She can't do that one now. Monique done.
Well, what you can do is print it out and have it on a fan. Print it on a fan.
Oh, well, no, she need to just go ahead and just give it up. Like, girl, here it is right here. Exhibit A. Do it at the party. No.
Dr. Latoya is like, you are not even on the primary cast, so why do I even need to address you?
I'll be like, girl, neither is your friend. You barely made the cut. Hush. Your husband is the only reason why y'all on here. I think I'm gonna give her this though. I think what Dr. Latoya is not fit for this. I think in real life that she's like a real to herself, true to herself type girl. Like, she's not gonna mess with you if she don't like you and all this stuff like this. This show makes you have to mess with people you don't like, and this is gonna be a struggle for her. You know, I get why they have him, because Anthony is that person. He can be in between the two. He can carry the mess. He like creating a mess. He don't mind starting a mess. He lives in the mess. Dr. Latoya is not really that girl. This is not her lane for any of this stuff. So for her, she's gonna struggle. She's gonna struggle a bit. So, oh well. We'll find out more as we continue. Anywho, is there anything y'all like to share with the audience? Any projects y'all have coming up? Any notifications they need to know? Any final thoughts on this episode? Sean?
Nothing new I got going on. My little plug, I've been plugged into this election here in the United States, so please vote and do your research. That's all I'll say. I'm enjoying the season so far. I can't wait to see what's going to happen at this party next week. I'm looking forward to it. So.
Okay, so my channel is LCID932. We're going to continue here, of course, with Love and Marriage Detroit, but I will also be reviewing Ready to Love. It starts next week. Next month also has Married at First Sight, and I am currently reviewing an FX original horror series called Grotesquerie. So if you want something a little bit different than the usual dating show and you're into horror on the way to Halloween, you could certainly check that out. That show is on FX and it stars Niecy Nash Betts, and it is absolutely awesome. So definitely come check it out.
I ain't about to make no promises. I want to do videos on that show for sure, but I'm not gonna make no promises because, like I said, I want to actually do videos. We might do a live at the end of that show or whatever, but I actually want to start dropping videos for y'all. That's already pre-recorded, so I'm working on doing that. Okay, so Married at First Sight. You mean?
Yes, Married at First Sight Chicago is coming up, and we know Love is Blind is in Philadelphia. That's coming up. So yes, Wednesday is Love is Blind is coming. Love is Blind Philadelphia is dropping on Wednesday.
So stay with us. You stay with the whole crew on Love is Blind for real, because it's a whole community of us. It's me, El Cid, Kojo, Sean, Seaway. We all tend to be on somebody's platform, bouncing around. So definitely, just if you haven't got with any of the community, just search around. We are all up in here. Join the whole community. Subscribe to everybody in the fam. You know what I'm saying? Stay up to date, so you know where we at. All right. Anywho, closing words, El Cid, before we get up out of here.
All the men need to go home. Stay home. Your wives want you home. Okay? Just be home with your family and enjoy that time.
I just want to go home. Anyways, we're going to get up out of here. I hope y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Goodbye.
T-shirt, you done left fingerprints and all. You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.